Yes, welcome. This is Clinton James. Welcome to the Tuesday segment. It's a special show we got today. We're going to be doing a radiothon. We've actually doing this radiothon. We actually raising money for a special organization, and we're going to have our show. We're doing in this radiothon. We appreciate you tuning in today. We have a great show for you. We're going to be talking about our discussion is going to be how we can inspire. And what we did to actually get to our careers off the ground, and how did we get to where we're at? Because we're aware of the radiothon we actually sponsoring, which is the creative. I don't know the name, but I know we actually raising money for kids who are looking to actually launch their careers. We're looking to actually be very creative in the creative space. So one of the things that we want to start the show is yes, this is let's talk about it on God's Radio. I was introducing myself. This is Clinton James. Yeah, I'm your local real estate broker here. You can always find me in the corner of working on myself and actually inspiring others to lane. So I mean, we have a special guest host. We don't have William here today, but we have a special guest host. We can't even call him a host anymore. He's just a regular for us today. We have Deon Westbrook, Mr. D Love, known as AKA the D Love.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be back. It's like home now at this point. So, thank you for the opportunity. I think we have a great show today to talk about, what got us to this point in our careers, what gives us the drive and how we can get back. So, let's do it.
Yeah, and if we can get what's give us a little bit of this. What's the name of the organization that we actually raised it? The Mandate, yes, here it is. Yes, the Mandate Project Impact. So we want you all to actually support this. It's Giving Tuesday today, if you didn't know. It's about that we fall right within that space on Giving Tuesday. And we have a cause where if you want to donate, go to givingtuesday.mightycause.com/donate/mandate-project-impact. And that's a lot.
GODRadio1.com.
And if you want more information about it, go to GODRadio1.com. Yes. So we're going to be talking about how we got into our careers and how did we actually start. That's one of the things that we always want to actually inspire others to. That's, as I said, when I always start the show, I was starting to say, often say that I'm working on myself lane. On the corner, working on myself lane and inspiring others to drive. Yes, inspiring others is always something that we want to do, especially when we want to give back, because there's a whole other new generation. We're the OGs out here now. we're the OGs out here. It's a whole other generation right now that is actually out there, and we want to make sure that we give them the right tools actually to come up in the business and also be able to be successful whatever they do. So one of the things, one of the questions I want to start off with. What are some of the limitations in life, or some of the misconceptions that you find that most people often defend, right? When they want to start off with something, they always want to, there's always a limitation that they always say, hey, I can't do this because, or I can't do this because, what are some of the limitations that you had to overcome in going after your goal and being in the space of even being a real estate professional,
Honestly, one of them is our skin color.
Right. Talk that talk, man.
One of them, look around, it's not that many of us, especially with me being on the lending side, where I do financing and we can approve for loans. It's definitely not that many of us. I think I've been doing this for 20 years now, so I think maybe one or two companies in 20 years that were more than just me,
right?
Black officer in the building. So, it's very rare that you find a lot of people doing this, right? That's our industry. So you always have to have those people that feel a certain way, trust issues. You know what I mean? It's right. I'll be honest with you, you get more trust issues from people that look like us in the community. That's the crazy part about it. You wouldn't think that's the case, but it's the case.
Right.
A lot of people, and I feel like a lot of people are programmed to feel like they don't want to trust us, because they don't see it a lot. When they do see it, they're like, I don't know,
right.
I'm not used to that, you know what I mean? And so you get trust issues with people, want to give you their personal information and feel like they want to trust you, and have you in their business. So,
it's like, I don't know about this guy.
Yeah, exactly, right? You'll be surprised how much somebody, give the information to somebody that don't look like
True.
That's definitely one of the biggest setbacks. Yeah, I mean, those are some of the initial things that I ran into as far as issues. That's just mainly people trusting people that look like me. And that's probably the biggest thing I had.
Yeah. Yeah, I think mine is pretty similar too. I mean, one of the things that I had to learn also is one of the quotes I was tell everybody, including my clients, right? Because when you're dealing with clients too, people who never bought a house before, they're looking to buy this house, and now they have to open up to themselves. They have to open up their whole finances. It's like like opening up their closet, and seeing what's inside, how they spend the money. So it's kind of like those things people like to keep private. And one of the limitations I always try to tell everybody is that it's the energy that, and I don't believe in energy. So the energy that you put into fighting your limitations, just switch it around, fight for your goals and your dreams, right? Because the more you fight for your limitations, because there's tons of limitations out there. Tons of them. You can go in there, you can, when you're talking about limitations, it's like every single thing that you ever experienced in life was a limitation, right? But at the same time, too, it's kind of like, why make that be? Because it's kind of like we download a lot of things in our minds where we have false expectations, right? That's where fear comes from, expecting something that's not real. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's kind of like, and that's where faith is. Why not shift it into faith? Because I mean, at the end of the day, if you're expecting something that's not real and you're just stopping you from doing it, why not just go? And because there's the same concept, you're expecting something that's not real by faith. So you're walking by faith. Just walk into it.
And I'll just piggyback on that too, faith too. So to flip that around, it was me also having the faith in myself, knowing that I was up against this.
Right.
And, hey, I'm gonna push through. It's not easy to ask somebody for their personal information, to ask somebody for their social.
Right.
The phone. It's a certain person, a certain amount of confidence
to
be able to do it, and then pull it off. Get somebody to be able to do it, right? To be like, okay, I trust you enough. I just start talking to you. I ain't even seen your face before, right?
Right.
And I'm gonna give you my personal information. So on the flip side of not only having to trust you, but you trust yourself.
Right. Absolutely.
To be able to do this type of work and say, hey, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have the faith and confidence in myself that I can do this.
Nice.
And so it goes both ways, trust yourself, but also people trust you too. So those are probably one of the biggest things of getting over that fear of having to ask someone for their personal information.
Right. So I mean, we're not going to defend anybody's limitations anymore. So if it's something where I always tell everybody, if it's something that you want to do, just go out and do it. There's every journey begins with one step. I'm saying every single journey, it doesn't matter. So make one step forward, and then you'll start building up momentum, and then that momentum will create that energy that will attract people who would want to come and help you, or who are on the same path, right? So yeah, I mean that's one of the things is what limitations do people unknowingly defend. Someone's up, and then this is what the other thing is that is how can people detach from others' opinions? Because I mean, when we look at today and we look at social media, this is it's like a whole other world, man. A whole other animals, and it's like full of opinions. There's opinions out there that people hang on to that actually even determine how they live their life today. And sometimes it's not even true. It's like that's not even reality. But people live on these opinions. So I mean, how can we? Because we live in this world where everybody's going to have an opinion. It's either going to be negative or it's going to be positive. It's like every single person now has a platform to voice their opinion. It's like it doesn't matter where you're at. It can be underground in the basement, or you can be on top of the high rise. You know what I'm saying? It can be in the plane while you voice your opinions. But everybody's going out, but you don't know who those people are, right? But I mean, how do people detach from others' opinions when they're going after their goals and their dreams and they want to start a career?
So one of the things I had to learn a long time ago, for one, is getting confidence to be on social media. You know what I mean? So let's start there. Not even worried about what other people think. Like, what do you think about yourself? Like, what do I feel about myself when I go on social media? Without the fear of the way I look, the way I sound, what I'm going to say. You know what I mean? Are people going to believe me? Are they going to, you know what I mean? Then you start worrying about, all right, cool. So I got enough courage to go on social media now. What are people gonna say?
Right.
I put whatever content I'm gonna talk about my job or how I my services that I provide, things like that, right?
Right.
And so one thing that I had to really, really learn a long time ago was don't worry about what other people think. At the end of the day, somebody's gonna like you, somebody's not gonna like you.
True.
Get both. No matter
That's
whatever
true.
information you put out, there's gonna be a hater out there, there's gonna be a lover out there. Somebody gonna love you and somebody gonna hate you. So just keep putting out whatever information that you want to put out there. And as long as you're giving good, accurate information, so that's the most important thing. As long as you know that you are giving accurate information, whatever you're giving out there, you're giving it confidence, you know you really believe in what you're putting out there, then do it. You know what I mean? If somebody has a problem with it, oh well, your information is not for them. And so you have to train yourself to understand that everything you say is not going to be for everybody. Everything you do is not going to be for everybody. You, period, are not going to be for everybody.
Right, absolutely.
And so when you see a hater come by, make a comment, say something crazy, do a post about you, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you just ignore it. Don't give them the time of day.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And only pay attention to the people that love the information you put out there. Keep gravitating to. Those are your clients. Those
Absolutely.
are your friends. That's your network. That's your spirit. You got to gravitate to those people back.
Absolutely.
That's how you move through your career.
Yeah, people need to realize that some people's opinions are not reality. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's not reality. It's an opinion. I mean, I always say it's like this. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Every single person. That's the freedom we have. We love the freedoms that we have in this country. You know, free speech and stuff. And you'll find there's tons of opinions. You know, from even our politicians have opinions, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, some of it is based on facts, but at the same time, it's still an opinion. But just like they have the freedom to actually give us an opinion, we have the freedom to accept or reject it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. That's where a lot of people don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like that's your freedom too. Just like it's freedom of speech, you have freedom of choice, right? And at the same time too, it's kind of like for me, one of the things what I had to realize is that opinions are very I mean, there's tons of them. If it's anything that you want to differentiate yourself from, it's like listening to everybody's opinions, right? You have to be very selective in what your opinions actually you're listening to. I mean, the thing about it is that our brain is like a computer. We download a lot of things, right? So when we download things into our brain, it tends to shape and mold how we actually move and how we actually react. Right. So when we download it, so you have to. One thing I've learned is that there's negative opinions, there's positive opinions. Right. Now, at the same time, too, I'm not saying that everybody's opinion is wrong.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, right. Not everybody's opinion is wrong, but at the same time, too, it's like you want to take opinions that you know is going to build, not break you down.
Yeah.
Right. Because you know the ones that are there to actually break you down, and the ones that build you up.
It's different between negative opinions and constructive criticism.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Between the two, and then a lot of people start saying the same thing. Then you gotta kind of take a step back and look at wait, maybe it's something.
Right.
Maybe it's something too. I gotta take a step back and look at myself.
Right.
And then go find the people, like you said, that you respect their opinion and talk to them.
Right.
Right. You don't gotta talk to people saying next up, but you always want to have a mentor or somebody else.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That you look up to, that you respect in your field. And
right.
Say, hey, I'm starting to hear this stuff. Do you feel the same way, or did this ever happen to you? What did you do to get around this, or how can I fix this? And
right.
I feel like they're true. What they're saying is accurate. That don't mean you gotta let it get to you, but you can still pay attention to.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. So it's a measure of respect and courtesy. Yeah. You're going to listen to what people have to say. One of the things that opinions actually lead into is narratives, right? Because one of the things that I've realized is that there's opinions now become these big narratives based upon the person who's delivering it, right? So so people actually now you're going into the masses of people who are following these narratives that has no basis in truth. You know what I'm saying? It's just based upon someone's opinions and how they feel. That's one of the things that I think as a society we struggle with today. You know what I'm saying? We have a whole group of people who are going based upon a narrative, based upon the person who's delivering that narrative. And the person who's delivering that narrative is just charismatic. Doesn't matter. The influencer. You know what I'm saying? It's like, It's like because they're charismatic, they have a little bit of influence and power. They can say certain things and people will shift how people think and shift masses of people. Right. And that's the thing that I think you gotta be careful about. What we're saying about opinions is that public perception shifts consistently. So always be careful, be very selective very selective on actually what type of opinions you listen to, what type of opinions you actually you want to take. Because I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to be a leader in wherever you're at, whatever career, whatever thing you're going after, and you want to be a leader in that, just keep in mind it's a very lonely place, right? It's where now you kind of have to separate yourself from the masses, right? Because it's going to be a little bit of a lonely place when you're looking to the lead. Because see, not everybody can rise to the top, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody can rise to the top. But anyway, yep, can't have too many chiefs or cooks in the kitchen, all right? So we move on to the next one. Next question is what habits reflect the identity needed for desired results, right? Because I mean, life is all about habits and choices. We talked about choices, right? So when choices always lead to habits, right? So some of that, I mean, and that's the thing that we always gotta be careful about is what type of habits do we have to have? Because we can. The thing about it is a lot of as you get old in life, like as I got old, I've learned that number one, I can learn bad habits, right? I can't those mistakes I can make when I'm younger. So I have a tough time to actually shift and stuff and make. But when it comes to like making choices that are going to lead into bad habits, I have to be very, very careful because it's going to be a little bit harder for me to come back, right? When you're a little bit older, even if financially too, right? So I mean, one of the things that I'll go first. I'll take a stab at it first. Like what habits reflect the identity needed for desired results? And I always say number one is that the habits of actually making sure that you're disciplined. I think one of the habits of being disciplined and consistent is something that I think I've kind of adapted in my later age, right? Because I mean, if you do something consistently, it's like if you tackle something consistently and you go after it, it's like looking at a big tree and having this one of the smallest axes, right? But it's kind of like if you chop it consistently in one place, maybe it might take one day, you might get anywhere in one day, right? But over time, you'll be able to fall that tree, right? But at the end of the time, so that's what a habit is like. It's like just being consistent and disciplined at it, and that's one of the things that habits I've kind of implemented in my life is that number one is understand what discipline means. It's like doing something even though you don't feel like doing it, right? You gotta do it happy, you gotta do it sad, you gotta do it glad, you gotta do it, no matter what. It's just because if you know that thing is going to help you and just win the day. There's one thing that you do today that's going to win your day. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what happened in that moment, right? Because when people say it's like this, oh, I had a bad year. I'm like, you didn't really have a bad year. You just had a couple of days in the year that was bad. I'm saying you choose to focus on those days. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, it's like when some people say, hey, so I mean, the main thing is like what you always have to do is shift that mindset, right? It's like, okay, well, it's not you had a bad year because that's 365 days. You didn't have 365 days, so it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Bad days.
Right. I had a couple of bad days this year, right? But it's what you choose to focus on. So I'm like, you can't tell me you didn't have one good day. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'll choose to focus on that one good day, and then build on that. So that's kind of like the habits that I choose to actually look at and try to look at things in a little bit different way.
Yeah, I got a few. So I think some habits that you definitely want to try to put in place for yourself. One structure, that's something that you definitely want to have right off the bat. If you have a day, depending on whatever your field is, like what you need to do throughout the day to make sure it's successful. So if you need to wake up at a certain time, you need to have calls for a certain time. You need to, do whatever you need to prospect at a certain time. Whatever it is that you need to do, make sure that you have structure and you stay true to that, right? Patience, that's a huge thing. You gotta have patience. Rome was not built in a day. That's a true statement, right?
Very true.
And so don't look at what somebody else has going that's been in business for 5, 10, 20 years, and you just got the business, and all of a sudden you're feeling down because you don't have the same success as they do.
Right.
Go ask that person. They probably didn't have it overnight either. It probably took however long, need to get to that point that they're at right now.
Very true.
So you need to be patient with yourself, give yourself grace at the end of the day, and understand that as long as you keep doing the proper steps, you get there one day.
Right.
As long as you continue doing what you do.
Right.
The other thing I was going to say was to, again, just make sure you form good habits for yourself at the end of the day, right? And find out what works for you. That's another thing that I had to learn back in the day, because everybody, if you're going to be alarmed, you got to do this.
Right.
I'm like, I don't like doing that though,
right?
Yeah. I don't want to have to go door knock. I don't like, I don't want to have to go walk around blocks and knock on people's doors. I don't know, right? And so, all right, guess what? I'm a people person, right? So I can door knock if I want to, but if I can call people on the phone and have a conversation, right? And so it's like, hey, that works better for me. I'd rather be on the phone more than door knocking.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so you don't always have to do what works for somebody else. But you do have to find what works for you, and then double down, triple down on that, right?
Yeah.
Keep doing what works for you. Find what works for you. Try everything, at the end of the day.
Right.
But whatever works best for you, just keep doing that. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to, be something that you're not.
Yeah.
Because if you're not a people person, right?
Right.
Then people are gonna know. Like, not that person who's gonna go and network and be out in front of people,
right?
And gain clients and friends and people that you're going to work with in the industry, right? So don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
And do that. That's very
that's great. That's good advice. That's great.
Advice.
That's definitely great advice, because not everything is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So do what you think is the most comfortable for you. And it's kind of like somebody says, do what you're passionate about. You'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Right. So so if you like doing it, it's going to be easy. It becomes easier for you to do it consistently, right? And that's where you build that you have it, as we're talking about. And this is what one of the quotes I use in this context is that you don't get out of life what you want, you get out of life who you are, right? So identity drives behavior and outcomes. So you got to build a new identity, because one of the things about it, we can change ourselves. We can change our whole outcome in life, right? Every day there's no limitations on what you can become. You can reinvent yourself anytime, right? And that's the thing that's the mental block that a lot of things in the world is kind of put on us. Like when we were kids, we believed that we were like all of these superheroes and stuff, and we actually believe that, right? So we actually believe that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So because we have no inhibitions. It's like the world didn't crumple us down and destroy us and try to hold us back. It's kind of like, and that's the thing. It's like if you live your life like that today, you can do it. You now have a little bit more discernment, a little bit more wisdom that you can actually guide and create a path for you to get to where you want. So
No, go ahead.
No, so the next question about how, because what we're talking about today is basically how can you accomplish your goals, or some of the things that we've implemented in our lives where we were actually able to go after our goals and dreams. Because life is unpredictable. That's one thing about it, is that nobody. One of the things somebody told me is that life is not easy; it's hard, right? It is hard. No sugarcoat. You know what I'm saying? No sugarcoat. It is hard. So if somebody tells you life is easy, you know what I'm saying, you look a little bit deeper, because they say hard and good is almost the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So if you want something good out of life, you're gonna have to work hard for it, right? So one of the questions that comes out from that is, how does small self-doubt impact your decisions, right? Because self-doubt is something that creeps in, because you will start something, you'll be so motivated about it, boom, you want to get it done, but then check in like a month later, it's like, damn, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Right. What happened? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, but at the same, sometimes it's not even somebody telling you something.
Yeah.
It's just what you have in the back end. Head. Something that's not voice in the back end that's telling you, hey, you can't do that. Or when you get into an obstacle, or something happens in between, you get a flat tire, whatever happens, it's like, oh, that wasn't meant for you then.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like we all have those times where we self-doubt ourselves. How does small self-doubt impact your decisions? And that's something that I want going after your dreams and goals, you gotta be very careful about. It's what voices are you listening to, right? What voices are telling you, hey, you know what? Hey, don't get up at this time, man. It's too cool out there. Black is too warm, man. Get it, stay in bed. That alarm clock is going off.
I battle with those right now.
Right, you know,
I still battle with those.
we all, especially right now. You know what I'm saying? Especially right now.
What?
But
Voice over here like, yeah,
you right? You really want to get on this cover, man? Like, right? So is that how does small self doubts impact the decisions that we make? You know, like.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of times we always have those voices in our head, right? That's going to tell us, hey, I'm not going to do that, or what's the chance of this working out for me? You know what I mean? I'm I see everybody else, it works out for them, but it works out for me. And that's what we talk about again, going back to that confidence. You got to have that confidence in yourself and believe that you can do whatever that you feel like you want to do.
Right.
If you did the work, right? You did the training, you read the books, you did whatever you need to do to learn about whatever field that you're in, then it should work out for you to do the right things. Right. And so you just have to be able to get over that fear of trying. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, and then understand too, if you try something that don't work out, that doesn't mean you can't learn from that experience. Everything is a learning experience. All right, what I do if I fail, that I'm gonna learn. All right, cool. So next time I try this, then this won't have to do to fix it. So take every experience, good or bad, and learn something from it one way or another. And you have to keep it over your life. And that's with anything, brother. Let alone just business. That's with anything, right? And so it's just having the confidence and understanding that, hey, if I don't try it, I'm never gonna know if I succeed. I'm gonna be able to do it anyway.
Right.
So you always gotta at least push yourself to try anything that you're looking to try to do. Never let yourself tell yourself no. I'm like that with my music as well too. I have that fear sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, when I go to the studio before I even start singing, I'm in my head like, oh my God, if I go here, it sounds crazy, it sounds horrible. And then it's like once you get in there and start doing it, and then you're like, oh man, ain't that bad. All right, cool. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, so it's like you have to get over the hump of that initial starting point.
Exactly.
Once you get it past the starting point, then you start realizing, hey, I can't do this.
Exactly.
I'm meant to do this, whatever I'm doing.
Because I mean, we all have talents, man. That's the thing. It's like the talents that we have. It's like we tend to suppress it based upon how we feel, and the negative feelings that come up. You know, like I mean, we're all blessed with certain talent, and I mean, if you the thing about it is if you work on your talent consistently, you get better, right? But it's that initial hump you got to get over of kind of like shooting in on your talent, trying to figure that out. You know, like and that's the thing where because they say 1% of doubt equals 100% uncertainty.
Yeah.
You know, so if you have even one small percent of doubt in life, that means you're never going to be certain. You know what I'm saying? Right. So doubt multiplies into hesitation. So I mean, if you're, as we said, faith, you want to move by faith. You want to take that one step forward and then keep on moving, build up momentum. But I mean, when that doubt comes in, doesn't mean you just automatically that discipline should kick in. Where number one, you just keep on moving, right? You don't let that doubt or that voice in the back of your head tell you no. You know, because it's going to come up all the time. You know, you want to shut that voice down as many times as possible, right? So as we move on to the next one is what does a true win-win look like? You know, something that I'm big on, especially when in business. You know, for me, it's kind of like what we tend to see a lot of is that somebody has to lose in order for somebody to win, right? And that's fine, and if you're playing sports and it's like a competitive situation. But at the same time, too, it's kind of like when it comes to people who are in the same situation, same actually background, everything like you, and you're all trying to come up. I think there should be more of a win-win where everybody wins. Everybody gets something of what they want. I think that brings more, not only just emotional benefit to everybody, but it also helps people get to their goals. Because keep in mind, you might get into the habit of always thinking that if somebody loses, you win, but that person keeps on losing, you're still in the same place, right? You're not really winning. It's just that person is losing, right? So I mean, so you might think, oh, I'm putting in all this effort, but at the same time too, because that person it's like the concept of everybody gets a trophy. Right. Right. Are you getting better? That's the main thing. Are you getting better at what you're doing? So when you create win-win situations, now you can actually have somebody you can measure against. Like, okay, well, you know, if I can do better than I did yesterday, if I can do better than just add one more thing that I did yesterday. All right, let's do one more than I did yesterday. You know, and then on top of that, at the end, bring somebody along with you where you can actually help build a team around where everybody's helping everybody wins. Everybody's accountable to each other.
And I don't think it even has to be a team, right?
Right.
And so one thing I always like to preach to just in life, to be honest with you, you know, one things I like to look at as a win-win is, you know, we see so many people that's always compete with each other.
Right.
I'm a firm believer of collaboration over competition. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? Like, how can me and you win together?
Right.
Even if I don't work with you, even if you're another officer at a different company, there's been plenty of officers that call me and I, you know, give them help or they ask me about a situation. I'm not like, oh no, you know, just send me the client, I'll get it done. Well, no, all right, let me walk you through and tell you how you can, you know, this is what you can do for the situation,
Right.
or whatever. Or there'll be situations where another officer might have a better program for a client. I might send a building out, then another officer might send a client to me that because I can help them better, right?
Right.
And so you have to build that trust within yourself and other people in your field as well too, right? And
Right.
so again, that's what we mean by helping with situations. Me doing what I need to do to help my clients get the best deal that they can.
Right.
That's work with me. That's great. If you work with somebody else, that's fine too. Especially if you are helping people that look like you guys get better, right?
Right.
Our community, you know, what the deal is with people in our community and homeownership and stuff like that. So the many people that I can help that look like us, that's underserved.
Right.
That's a win-win for me no matter what. But you know, the more people that we can get together to help build community, family, whatever it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? To me, that's a win-win.
Right.
Without taking someone down the process.
Exactly.
So
And that's
I can go
that
help,
part.
you know,
That
a
part.
friend or
Yeah.
another person, another coworker, another person in the same field as me, and teach them what they need to do to become better as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? They gave it to me, so you know, told not sold at the end of the day. So each one teach one. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is all gonna win at the end of the day. We get more people at home. Things along those lines, whatever you're feeling.
Right. You know, because think about it in real estate. Like one of the things is that if you look at just in a community based and how real estate impacts our communities, right? If you look at it as a win-win, number one is that if the more people we get into homes, it's the more we close the wealth gap, right? The more better schools we can bring into those neighborhoods, it's the better healthcare we can bring people will have, you know. So there's always if you're thinking of a win-win and you have that mindset, right? Because I think it's win-win is more of a mindset. You know, if you have that mindset, you'll always be looking at the windfall of, okay, well, what's the positive that can happen, right? And it doesn't take. I mean, you're not trying to put 1,000 people, but if it takes one, just take one and see. I think win-win. How can I collaborate to make sure that this person is actually going to win in this one? Right, because we all win it. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, as T-Pain said, all we do is win. You know what I'm saying? That's, as I said, it's a mindset we gotta have forward as a people and as a community. So that we want to see everybody winning, right? I mean, their winning doesn't mean that you're losing, right? You know what I'm saying? Their winning means that, hey, you know what? They're showing you that it's possible. They're giving you all the opportunity to see, hey, you know what? That is possible. So and then it comes with accountability too. So I mean, one of the things about it is I've learned is that we all have to learn to create these win-win situations, win-win environments where we collaborate, where we have like a brain trust, or we have an incubator where we can bring ideas. Not be scared. There's so many people with great ideas who are just scared that somebody's going to take it from them. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why? Why would you be scared? Somebody, and even if somebody takes it from you, right? It's still your idea. You're the one who created it. You know what I'm saying? You can't let that person actually make you stop, because that's an obstacle too. If it was your idea, like, and just keep in mind that that's something that happens in business all the time. We have countries that take our ideas and make it better. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, does it like the story that kind of pertains to that is Tesla. And I'm a big fan of Elon Musk, but at the same time, too, what he did when he created Tesla is that he didn't put a patent on the technology. He kept it in an open market, and he was like, "Hey, you know, anybody?" Because he was just more about the environment, pushing on the electric cars and stuff. And so when he created Tesla, he put it on an open market. But now you have BYD in China, I think one of the top was able to take that same because he kept it open and take the technology and make it better. But what they did is now they mass produce it at a cheaper level. That's what they specialize in. Now they're the number one electric car company in the world, right? So they were able to take over Tesla, but Tesla already has created a win for them. They already branched out in so many, you know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about $1 trillion market cap. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of money. But at the same time, too, they still create that win. So they don't really care about somebody else coming up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So but that's how it is. That's how I believe it should be. That's how it should be. It's like don't because it's kind of like in my business, you can't be a secret agent, right? It's kind of like you can't say, hey, I don't want to put myself out there. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to make people feel like like I'm putting myself out there and I'm competing and stuff. No, you gotta put yourself in the ring. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The only way you can fight this battle, you know what I'm saying, be able to go out and hunt, feed your family and stuff, is you gotta go out there. You gotta put yourself out there. You gotta be able to be present. You gotta let people know what you're doing. So yeah, I mean, create those win-win situations. Win-win is a mindset. That's kind of like how one of the things that I think could get you to your goals, especially talking to people who are thinking about how can I get to my goals? How can I get to my dreams? What are some of the things that I got to get over? What are some of the obstacles that I face? So mutual benefit. Everybody who benefits mutually sustains long-term success, and that's a win-win. So the next question that we lead into is where do people most often lose their power, right? And that's the thing that I've kind of come to kind of face is that we all are born with a certain level of power, right? And then after you go through life, it's like somebody was telling me, you showed me a concept of when you're born, you're like a clean sheet of paper. It's like a dollar bill that's just crisp dollar bill. You just bought it out of the bank, until you start exchanging it hand to hand, and then it comes back a year later. It's dirty. It's still worth money, but you can still spend it, but it's dirty. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer crisp anymore, and that's how sometimes life is, right? It's kind of like we tend in on face value, we look at it and we say, hey, we lost our power, right? And for me, I'm like, you never really lose your power. You know what I'm saying? Because that power is internal. You're in control of that power, not the things on the outside. Because life will crumple you up. They will tear some edges off of your paper, the crispiness and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Right? You get some dirt in you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going through life, but now that's how it is. I mean, if you look in the Bible, every single person in the Bible went through something. You know what I'm saying? Where they thought that they lost their power, right? And that's the thing about it internally. I think number one, I have to realize that you can rekindle that power, right? You can get that power back, right? And you have the opportunity to do it, right? So I mean, there's certain things where do people most, and I would say is this when you get out into the world, especially when you become an adult, right? And this is for all the kids who graduated high school, going out there and now have to go now getting all graduated college, right? That's when it gets real. Right, it gets real, So because now it's not like your mom is on the bank, your dad's on the bank no more. That's where you realize where money comes from. You got to work for it. You know what I'm saying? You got to get a job. Now you got to pay the bills. Now you got to be adulting. They call it adulting. I mean, one of the things that I'm seeing with this new generation is like a lot of them, and I think this is what we me and my wife was having a discussion. I'm like, because we see the new generation, they're not latchkey kids at all. We were latchkey kids, right? So we grew up outside. We took a risk. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So the things you look back, you know what I'm saying? Damn, how did I survive that? Right? Right. We would used to drink from the hose. Yeah.
And that was the best water.
The best who tasted water.
I need to go in the house first.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
You crazy right now.
Why you can't go inside? You not bottle of water?
That's what they use. They got the outside version. Drink out of the
Right.
You see that no more, but-
Right. So it's a different. And what we're seeing is that number one, it's like kids are. I mean, this generation now they don't have their ways of communicating and interacting and stuff, but we've seen that a lot of them are more inside, right? So they're not on the outside. They don't understand that a lot of them have the power, like to be out there, to actually take the risk and to go bike ride and to talk to other people, to interact with the person. But I mean, with the electronics, we've seen that a lot of kids now. We've seen that what we did is because I think our generation we went through this time where we realized, oh damn, that was a little bit traumatic for me. You know what I'm saying? Now we kind of really protecting our kids, and some of us are overprotecting our kids. You know what I'm saying? Because from it.
Some of us are underprotected.
Right. So some of us are overprotected, and that's the thing. It's like we're so they feel very safe. Like when we by the time we were 18, we were like, yeah, I want to be out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I want to go see the world. I want to go. My first paycheck. My first paycheck when I started working, I was like so ecstatic about it. I was like, damn, right, man. Buy me some sneakers. But the reason why I say that is because now that we see that kids don't even want to get a driver's license. We were wanting to get that stuff. Like we couldn't wait to grow up. Yeah, like we were driving sometimes when we were 13 without people knowing. right. But I mean, but that's where we at. But the reason why I'm saying that is because number one is that we have how we see power and how we see might be different from how kids today see it. They see it in terms of more, okay, well, we are more we want to actually communicate, or like we want to build things, we want to be more technologically inclined, like even like AI now, they find most kids are more adaptable to that than we would, just like the internet, or coding and all that stuff. They're more adaptable to it, but at the same time too, it's the same thing. It's like that power that you're born with to take risks, right? And go after things that number one, that you might not think you can attain. We all have that. You know what I'm saying? It's just true life now. Things, true life experiences, things like that, it tends to tell us, hey, that because we get crumpled a little bit, it tends to say, hey, you know what, that might not be what you need. That might not be what you should be doing. Or that might not be what. Well, I would say if you have a goal and you have a dream, just consistently go after it. You might have detours in life, right? Time is something that nobody can control, right? But you might have some detours. It might take you a little bit longer to get to where you're at, right? But don't feel that because you're seeing somebody who has it, right, and you don't, that you can't get it. It's unattainable, right? Right, you gotta learn from that person. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to have a conversation.
Right, exactly.
I'm not gonna hate on you.
Exactly.
I'm about to congratulate and learn.
And then be patient. And just be patient and just continue doing it, because it might take a little bit longer. You might have some mistakes, or because you might have the same amount of resources that person has, or the same skills. But just keep doing it. You'll get there. I mean, so that's where the power is that you got to keep on knowing that, hey, that power is there for me to actually accomplish these things. Doesn't matter. I mean, I might start from zero, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time too, if I continue consistently doing and knowing that I have the power to actually get there, I'll get there. Right? It might take
I think that
power
thing is understanding how you're going to come back.
Right.
Adversity. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? Like I said earlier, every situation where you want to lose, you get to learn from it. Right. One way or another. Now, what are you going to do next? That's what gives you power. Like, what's your next step? Dust myself off, try the same scenario again, learn from it, see how I can get better, and then try it again. Right. Or I'm going to say, hey, this is not for me. Move on to figure out something that's bigger and better. Either way, you don't go backwards in life. You don't go down. So, right. So learn from it. Absolutely. If it is, all right, what can I do to achieve my goal next time? Right. Then work on that. That's how you get your power back. Right. Just don't quit. Yeah. Quitting is the worst thing. Once you quit, then you've lost the power. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's the thing. Quit or whatever you're doing. Exactly. I mean, it's kind of like when they say that it's kind of like they say quitting is one of the worst things you can do.
because it's hard for you to get back into what you quit. You know what I'm saying? Now, taking a break, from it, you know what I'm saying? That's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like that, but quitting is something where it's say, I give up. Because now you're giving up your power. You know that number one, that power is you never forget the time that you quit something. Right. So but you always want to keep on consistently going after it. Like some people have say start a business and you might have to have a side hustle to make sure that you stay in that business, right? That's some things that people have to do, even taking a 9-to-5 job while you're working on the business. That's some things that people have to do. But at the same time too, it's not you quitting, it's you finding a way to get it done, right? Yeah, so I mean that's kind of like how I interpret where do most people often lose their power. It's just the world. Getting out into the world as an 18-year-old, I mean as an adult, facing adversity because you want to, because they say everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. You know, like you know what I'm saying, that's Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? So what get punched in the face and when falling down is, as you said, the power to get back up. The power to keep going. It's like how are you going to get back up and keep going? So yeah, anywhere in your life you aren't getting what you want, you've given away power, right? Yeah, and that's basically what it's saying, is that anywhere in your life you're not getting what you want, you're giving away your power. So reclaiming responsibility changes outcomes, right? So I mean, we have a few more minutes left. I think we got like 6 minutes left. So I want to kind of remind, the 7 minutes left. So I want to remind everybody who's watching, we are at the Giving Tuesday Radiothon at GodRadio1.com, and if you want to support the young creators that build skills and confidence and a path towards real opportunity, if you want to support real creators, go to GodRadio1.com and click the flyer, right? And then you can actually support our youth out there who are looking to actually Mandate Project Impact. It's called Mandate Project Impact. And if you want more information, you want to find out about it, you can contact GodRadio1.com and you'll get more information about it. But this is Giving Tuesday, so we want you all to give and check it out. You know,
you got one viewer. He's asking, do you have roti?
Snap, who's that? One of you asked me if I have roti. What? Who knows about roti out there? I'm like, what? Hey, somebody just got me all hungry and stuff right now. You know what? I've been trying. You know, there's one place in LA, I think it's Caribbean Taste, that I've been able to find roti. But you know what? I have roti skins. I mean, I make my own curry sometimes, but I mean, I have frozen roti skins. That's how I get my roti now. You know what I'm saying? But that roti skin is hard to make. You know what I'm saying? But I know one place, and that's there's one in LA and there's one in Long Beach. But hey, that's some good stuff right there. Who's that, man?
Darnell Ford.
Oh, Darnell, what's up, man?
Ask you, what about doubles?
Oh man, that I don't have. That you gotta hook me up with. That I think it's the same place they sell the doubles. But you know, one thing I realized, man, is like on the West Coast, because of our small Caribbean population, it's like the authentic. You're not gonna get the authentic stuff, right? You'll find more that as you go East Coast. Like if you go East Coast, New York, come to even North Carolina, as far as North Carolina, around some good spots that actually have good like roti and stuff like that. But yeah, you gotta improvise out here.
What's the best spots you've been to out here?
Out here for roti?
Well, not
just for Caribbean food. Yeah, there's we call it Island Spice. There's Rocksteady. I mean, most of them are Jamaican spots. So Rocksteady, and then Taste of the Caribbean, and then Layla's. There's only 4 of them. You know, so I mean, but I mean, all of them are good spots because I mean, out there they're pretty much authentic. You know what I'm saying? Authentic Jamaican food. You know what I'm saying? If you want Jamaican food, go to those places. You know, I'm plugging these places like, you know. Hey, if you're listening, hey, I want my free plate when I get here. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was a random question. You know, so I love that. Man. But hey, so it's the last. So let's wrap it up here. Like we got 3 more minutes. So if if something is if it's why is accountability foundational, right? Because that's the thing that we're wrapping up with accountability. Because one of the things that we start to realize is that accountability is so important, right? Because I mean, we all blame everything out there outside of ourselves, right? For where we at, what we're doing. But once you start taking accountability, you start shifting your energy, right? You start shifting your energy to now making sure that you find a solution to it, right? One of the things that I've kind of come to understand over the years is that problems and solutions are take the same energy, right? And if there's a problem, some people tend to focus 80% of the problem, right? Oh, how can we solve it? This is the problem. This is the problem. This is the problem. People will easily bring a problem to you than they bring a solution, right? So I've kind of learned now to actually do the 80-20. 80%. It used to be 80% problems, 20% solutions. Now shift it, right? Spend 80% of your time and find a solution and spend 20% of your time on the problem. And you'll be able to solve so many problems, right? It's like you would have you spend your whole day solving one problem, right? If you can start shifting how you solve problems, like put in like 80% of your time on creating solutions. That's why I tell everybody, if you come in with a problem, come at least with one solution. I mean, if two would be nice, you know what I'm saying? You're coming to me with a problem, right? Because we can start exchanging problems too, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where the rabbit hole would go down. It's like, yeah, I got a problem too, you know what I'm saying? My bank account's a problem right now. Let's talk about that.
Right. I think accountability is definitely important, and I think one thing you can do to help with that, because you kind of touched on how important it is for yourself, but also get accountability partner or partners, right? Because a lot of times we have those voices in our head, right? Tell us you're not the problem, but if you have somebody else that you trust and you believe, and you listen to what you value what they say to you, they might say, hey, no, you got to fix this. Right. You're the reason why this is not happening, and so it's very important to not only hold accountability yourself, but also have other people that you look up to, that you are willing to listen to when they check you. Have somebody that you trust and you're going to allow them to check you. Some people, they got so much pride, they're not going to listen. Somebody tell them what they say, they're not going to listen to them.
Sure.
Right, so you got to find somebody that you allow them to keep you in check.
Yeah.
And then listen when they tell you, and then do the work.
Sure.
That's how anybody can tell you what you need to fix about yourself, but are you going to actually do it? So I think that's important. Accountability is important.
Yeah.
And listen and your work once you find out what the problem is.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, that leads me to kind of end it off on this. If I say something, I'm going to do it. That's accountability. And nobody's coming to save you. Just remember that. Nobody is coming to save you. You got to do the work yourself. That's where the accountability starts too. So yeah. I mean, this was a great show. I mean, as I said, thank you for God Radio 1 for having us during the Radiothon. Giving Tuesday, right? I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving and came out of that turkey coma. You know what I'm saying? Turkey coma that everybody was in. But yeah, this was a great show. Thank you for tuning in, and definitely we'll see you on the next one. Peace.